oh yeah, man, at least you can be like, okay, DrennoC, at least it wasn't DTs. You can't be like, crap, I lost to DTs. Actually, maybe you did lose to DTs because you didn't have any units, but still, make a couple extra, or really in that situation, the Zerg has to be aggressive, but maybe make a couple extra or fall back a little bit easier. Don't keep committing to that, because he could have fallen back in a few situations where the force fields were good, but not phenomenal. He could have actually got out of it. All right, guys, game 2 will be Iron Fortress. And Creature, you were just talking a little bit about what Namshar needs to do. Can he do that on Iron Fortress? Is that viable?
Yeah, he certainly can. And Iron Fortress, it's a much better Zerg map against Protoss. I mean,
the Zerg symbol. It's pretty racist.
Zerg symbol in the middle of the map. So, yeah, this is definitely a good Zerg map. And if I'm Namshar, you kind of just want to forget the last game, play a little bit safer, and try and deny that third base from Protoss, as you should try to on this map, since it's really difficult for Protoss to take a third.
Definitely is incredibly difficult for Protoss to take a third, and the Protoss, a part of this PvZ matchup in the top left-hand corner of Iron Fortress, is the purple player, Strange, currently up 1-0. May I remind you guys, is a 4-man group, so even if one of the players loses this match, there's still a lot of wiggle room.
Yep. And in the bottom left, we have the red Zerg player from Carnage Esports. It is Namshar.
Just gotta point out chat being like, oh, what about Guardian Shield stacking? I'm like, man, I wish Guardian Shield stacked.
That would be pretty sick.
That would be amazing. It'd be like, yeah, you literally don't do damage to me as long as I stand on my sentries. You're screwed. I always wonder, even though obviously the issue is DPS, but like, why not just go like mass sentry? Like, I want to see a very good Protoss play, like you, Creature, for example. Just try it. Just try it. Only sentries. Even though the issue is, yeah, you don't have DPS. If you truly were like constantly force fielding, you'd have like 500 APM, but it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly frustrate the hell out of your opponent, I guess, but maybe not kill their units, but just
slap them to death.
Yeah, have a map editor, because the sentries are basically like a map editor. If you have like a million of them, they can't ever attack you. But it looks like, I think I've actually seen Strange play a PvZ on this map, and he actually went 4-gate Zealot, I want to say. So I'm wondering if he'll do the same thing. And it is an opener that Protosses like to do on this map, because it is kind of difficult to play passive and take a third. So he might open up with a little bit more of an aggressive opening here and try and get into the mid game that way.
I think the 4-gate Zealot would definitely be a possibility, and I mean, Strange already knows where his opponent is. He did a very early probe scout in the bottom left-hand corner, so he's got eyes and ears at Namshar, and the most interesting thing about that is, no gas. You're not going to have speedlings, even on a big map like this. That could prove maybe not so good for you. We'll see how aggressive Strange will get with his build. Any ideas other than the 4-gate possibilities from Strange?
He could try and actually no. In these positions, you generally don't want to try and go for a quick third. I'm thinking
definitely at an Iron Fortress. Like any other map, I'd be like, maybe you can make it happen with some crazy stuff.
He could go for like a 2-base cheese, like a 7-gate or something. But I'm thinking he's probably going to be 4-gate Zealot pressure. And he is going to hide that probe, which is a indicator that he does want to be aggressive.
Very nice probe position. Sadly, the Overlord of Namshar will not get eyes on it, but now Namshar is setting out these 2 lanes in the middle of the map. He's trying to get a scout on his opponent. He has not scouted him yet. He knows either top left or top right. Splitting up those lings and will meet into the natural base. Sees, okay, cool, he did a gate fast expand. Sadly, won't get any eyes in the main. Just pulls out, expecting him to maybe dive in and try to get a vision with that. But Namshar just will go for a very quick third, and I feel like, even though he didn't see much with that scout, I'd rather have him take the second ling and scout in a little bit more before he really goes for that quick third, even though it's a 4-player map.
For sure. And we did see Strange take his second gas, so he's not going to do any 4-gate Zealot pressure craziness. Looks like he's just going to... Oh, he's adding a 4th gateway. This is pretty interesting. He might try and go for a later type of pressure, I'm thinking.
I feel like it's technically what you said. You technically did say 4-gate zealot pressure, so
Yeah,
it's 4-gate zealot pressure. I mean, it
guess
may not
maybe
be
it is.
zealot, but it's 4-gate pressure.
I'm guessing he's doing it with 2 gas instead of 1 gas, which is normally what you do. But yeah, he'll have extra gas for more of a sentry base attack here.
Maybe melding a little bit of the North American server stuff with the baguette. We'll see how that actually kind of culminates together against Namshar. Namshar does have his Roach Warren on the way. Second gas only is on the way now. Yes, he's got kind of 100 gas in the bank. It's not going to do him that good, though. He needs to get another gas quick to defend what's going to hit him. That pylon on the right-hand side, I believe, was spotted. Yeah, Namshar does know about it, and there's a big warp in, and will be Zealots. Oh, this third base, it could be at jeopardy. Spinecrawler's up, second one on the way. The Queen is there, but there's no transfuse even if the Spinecrawler gets up.
Yep, and yeah, you never want to have your first spine go down like that as a Zerg player. He's probably going to have to sacrifice his third base. These roaches are a little bit too late. Sorry, a little bit too late. And yeah, there's more Zealot Warpins here. He's losing a Queen here. He's definitely not going to be able to hold this base. And he'll have to cut his losses.
Definitely will have to cut his losses, and I love this move by Stranger. He's gonna kill it. I don't even know, teleport out. There's not that many roaches, honestly, to be here, but he's got to get away from these broodlings and not engage the roaches with them. 2 drone. Oh, I was gonna say, for a second, I thought there was like a base on the right-hand side. Like, what are those drones going to? Where do they come from? But maybe Strange is gonna be scouting for an awkward base, and for now, Strange doesn't even need to teleport home. Just pull back. Third base snipe for him, and this is everything a Protoss could want. And what did it realistically cost him? A couple Zealots pylon? A little bit of time, just tech-wise, but not too much overall.
And you know, by taking that second gas really fast with this, like, it wasn't even that big of a commitment. Like, he's warped in he's got 5 sentries, which is really nice if he wants to take a third base, or even go for another type of pressure, or maybe go for an Immortal all-in. But yeah, he can basically do whatever he wants from this position.
The repost or the second attack along those lines would be incredibly devastating when your opponent has not been allowed to get their third base, not only just mining wise, but purely production. When you just want to flood roaches into your opponent and they already have Immortals and only on 2 base, it's a little bit iffy. 2 more gates added on by Strange, and he definitely has no intention of going up to a third base. This is straight up 2 base play, pumping out Immortals. Yep. And I guess for now, Namshar, he doesn't quite have roach speed. It's still going to be about 90 seconds away, but he can push in, try to get out a couple force fields, or at least make Strange do that. I think it's the only thing Namshar can really do at the moment.
Yeah. It's going to be really, really tough for Namshar to hold this. I would say he's got Hydras on the way, but you know, losing that early third base like that is so devastating. And with Strange's force fields, I just don't see Strange losing from this position. But we'll see. He could always mess up. But yeah, it's kind of on Strange here to lose this game, I'd say.
I agree with you. It is on a Strange, and at least on Iron Fortress, between the third base and the natural and kind of the fourth-ish base position, there is a lot of room for concave potential. Not sure if Namshar's gonna actually have that, though. Just to note, Namshar is completely unupgraded. Same as Strange. Normally you do see this baguette-esque style with +1, but for now, Strange doesn't have this. Oh, Namshar's got to be really careful about engaging down this ramp because of the amazing force fields. It
really
just
nice
completely cuts up the armor. Not even stopping at force fields, but a time warp goes down. Then the drones.
Wow.
Drones are pulled, can't even do anything. This is a desecration of the Zerg army right here. That's what this is, creature.
Yeah. Beautiful force fields. Makes my Protoss heart very happy.
Oh, definitely makes my Protoss heart happy. But the other half of that heart, that Zerg heart, is like, oh gosh, what am I watching here? Strange is just going to run out of force fields soon. There he has ran out of force fields, but he's killed a lot. I think the drones got out. No, actually the drones didn't get out. 13 drones have gone down. May I remind you that, oh, the Mothership Core is sniped. No teleport home. It did use a time warp a little bit earlier, but just to point out, Strange is up 1-0. If he does 2-0, he will move on to that winner's match. Still, that third base of Namshar is up, not mining. 13 drones did go down. However, that base does have production, and now that the Hydras are getting out, what are those upgrades? Hydras do have Hydra range, and they're on creep, so they should be able to hold now, but still Strange, he inflicted a lot of damage, creature.
Yep, and I really like what Strange is doing here. He's pulling back, he's realized, you know, I killed 13 drones. Zerg is kind of committed to this defense, so I'm just going to take my third base, go into Colossus tech, and play it from there. But yeah, I think a lot of lesser Protoss players would have kept attacking into there. You know, the sentries don't have a lot of energy. and he's got a lot of Hydras. And I really like this. So yeah, I really like this decision to pull back from Strange here. Really intelligent.
I agree with you. It is really intelligent, and with the amount of sentries that Strange has, and potentially his SimCity between the natural and the third base, any aggression from Namshar should be kind of just rebuked relatively easy. We have seen him do a pretty good SimCity, so everything is in Namshar, or it is in Strange's hands to lose, you said, but I feel like more it's everything is in Namshar, that he has to play a very, very good game to actually be able to come back from this, and it's looking a little bit iffy. He does have the Infestation Pit slightly earlier than last time, but still pretty late, and there is the Hive on the way. He's going to try to make something happen into this third base. That is a small choke point, but there's not that much building-wise actually at that third base yet. This army of Namshar is spotted by a Zealot, by the way, a little bit earlier on.
And we're seeing something pretty unconventional here from Strange. He's going double Robo Colossus. Usually, it's rare to even see like Colossus like in this matchup.
Yeah.
But he's going double Robo Colossus, which is pretty crazy. But this could be favorable for Namshar since he is getting that really fast Hive. If he can get out enough Vipers, he can just like abduct all of those Colossus, and that'd be really nice for Namshar. So that is his one way back into this, I'd say.
That would be beautiful, and if you guys check out the top right-hand corner of the screen, he did have about 1,000 gas banked up a minute ago or a couple seconds ago, so he does have a okay gas bank if he wants to pump out some Vipers here, but I don't know if it's going to be in time because Strange is posturing for an attack across the map. Thankfully, though, Namshar, he's got a lot of creep tumors here. He knows his attack is coming, and Namshar may be able to set up his own concave, but honestly, just there's not a lot here. Yes, there's a lot of Hydras, but those are squishy Hydras, especially when how many sentries? 12 sentries to Colossus? They can do whatever they want, and actually, this farm is forced up into the fourth base to defend. Completely out of position.
Yeah, Namshar is just doing whatever he can to try and buy time, but, you know, those Vipers are so far away. They're 15 seconds away from popping, and then also they have to gather their energy in order to be even abduct or do any blinding clouds of that sort. So, you know, I like this from Namshar. He's going for the counterattack. This is probably the best chance he has in this game of possibly winning. It's by countering.
For now, he will pull back, and we just saw 4 Vipers did just come out. They do have to consume for a little while to get the energy for the abducts, but there is a possibility. Sadly, though, with this army, yes, there's 2 Colossus, but the other 2 hallucinated really in this, and yes, Namshar knows about it, but that's still getting 4 Vipers. I guess we can see some blinding clouds with this, but now remember, these Zealots, they don't actually have charge. It's going to be a little iffy engaging here.
Oh, not the best abduct.
Kind of do something, but beautiful abducts actually do get both of the Colossus, putting Strange down to a baguette style where he's only got a third of the army he needs. Force fields are good, but I think he's going to have to retreat right here. He does have a teleport home. Actually, he doesn't quite have a teleport home, but for now, he can clean up some creep, pull back.
Yeah, and he's making 2 more Colossus, which can, you know, with good abducts, they'll just disappear. I really want to see Strange right now, add on that Twilight, get those Templars out for the feedbacks. You know, just take it easy from this position. But yeah, this is still a very winnable game here for Namshar, even after that really, really bad opener.
Turned himself from a crazy position into a much better position, trying to get back into it. Now Strange, little dicey position right here. Nice Guardian Shield will go down. There's the time warp in the main part of the army. Nice force fields. Where are the abducts? Actually, he's going to go for some blinding clouds. There's one abduct. We'll snipe that. So that does force Strange to pull back and stop having to utilize his force fields. Another beautiful abduct. We'll get the second one in. It looks like there's going to be, I think, too much Hydra Roach here for Strange to actually deal with. He's having to pull back, and yes, there's the Robo, but it's going double immortal. You know what? I like it, but at this point, it's kind of iffy what you need to do. You just need a lot of units somewhere. Maybe he should have got charged a little earlier on, but it looks like Namshar will punish through this, and honestly, there's nothing here for Strange. It's a last-ditch effort.
I think Strange here got a little bit too cheeky trying to go double Robo Colossus. This is probably one of the main reasons why you don't see double Robo Colossus, because those abducts are so strong. But yeah, Namshar takes it.
1-1 currently, and one thing to point out with the double Robo Colossus, kind of want to put it in air quotes because he did do double Robo Colossus, but only made 2 Colossus. Like, you should go 1 Robo and pump out 2. Maybe he was going for an awkward timing we didn't quite pick up on, but when you do that, what you want to do is, I mean, obviously you're the better Protoss player, but when you want to do that, in my mind, you want to hit with like 4 or 5 Colossus. You want to just completely annihilate their army DPS-wise when you hit.
I'm thinking maybe Strange has played Namshar a bit on the ladder, and he's thinking like maybe he in his previous games against Namshar, like Namshar went for a later kind of hive tech. So he's thinking maybe double Robo Colossus would just annihilate him if he stays on layer, but that wasn't the case at all. Namshar went for a very, very fast hive, and you know those Vipers just completely wrecked his Colossus.
Going with what you said right there, and back to game one, as you said, just the hive was so late right there, so he could have been a little bit of a mind game going down. And
Yeah,
one thing I always wonder, even though yes, the baguette style is better than the Colossus, generally what we've been seeing, still a lot of players, they know how to do the Colossus style, and maybe once in a best of 3, best of 5, pull it out and just see how it fares. Does your opponent kind of fail to it when they really were anticipating something else? Because Colossus really great versus the Hydras, the baguette style kind of less so great, even though it's a very simple way of talking about it. It's still kind of Hydras counter one, don't counter the other. If you switch it up and your opponent thinks you're doing baguette, you could very well punish them.
yeah. Strange has probably got to be kicking himself after that game because that was his game to win. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate that Namshar went for that super fast hive and was able to counter that double Robo Colossus really, really well. But I think Strange is probably not going to pull out the double Robo Colossus again, I would say.
Most likely not, but we'll see if he does. Game 3 is going to be Cactus Valley, which I think really favors this Frenchy style, whatever you want to call it. The Sentry Stalker with Blink is pretty darn good on Cactus Valley. We've seen a lot in the rival StarCraft 2 League of that. And while I mention it, guys, of course you know this is the RSL, the rival StarCraft 2 League. But if you'd like to learn more, whatever, check us out at RSL SC2 on Twitter. And of course on here, if you just go below Creature and I, there is a whole bunch of information if you want to catch up on VODs on YouTube. See the round of 32 and what these players have done. You can definitely do that below. Thanks so much for tuning in. We should be getting into Game 3 relatively shortly. And any prediction, it's gone to 1-1, and both games seem to be pretty favored one way. Or not actually. Game 2 was kind of back and forth, but still.
Yeah.
Ended pretty favored.
Yep. But, we're now back on a pretty Protoss favored map. Like the last map was Iron Fortress, which is a good Zerg map, so definitely good that Namshar was able to take that. But I would say he's kind of got a little bit of an uphill battle going into Cactus Valley here. Like there's a lot of choke points on this map. It's really good for that baguette style that you were mentioning earlier. So we'll probably see something like that on this map, and we'll see. We'll have to see how Namshar deals with it.
Definitely will be cool to see how Namshar ends up dealing with it. And by the way, guys, this is only the first match of the entire night. We do have 2 other players in this group of 4, of course, Bly and JackO. That is another Protoss and a Zerg. And Bly's actually the winner of Season 2, I believe. He did go away with a nice lump sum of that cold, hard cash, but we will have phenomenal games from him. Right now, these 2 players are battling out. That is Strange and Namshar, battling it out for the winner's match to see which one of them will play against either the winner of JackO or Bly. Still a lot of variability, but there is the lovely countdown going into Cactus Valley. Creature, this is going to be a good game 3 because we've seen a lot of deviation, and honestly, we've also seen the mistakes. Okay, this is how you can improve, and they seem to have fixed it, or at least on Namshar's case.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Namshar approaches this game. And you can do the introduction.